There we go. See, someone figured out how the phone worked. What used to be known as Poker Sesh.
Poker Sesh is back on, so...
No, this is what used to be known as Poker Sesh. I think Evelyn owns the name Poker Sesh.
Oh, okay, so what's the title now?
What used to be known as Poker Sesh.
No, put a new title then.
I don't...
It's like the next generation. I don't know. You get sued for that?
It's going to be a one-time thing, so I'm not that upset or interested.
No, how can it be a one-time thing?
It is a one-time thing because I'm stuck at home and a lot of people have casino closure on their mind. A lot of people have poker on their mind. A lot of people have investing on their mind. I have those things on my mind, so we might as well just chat.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be a one-time thing. You're like Jordan claiming he's retiring or Jay-Z claiming he's retiring.
Jordan did retire, didn't he?
Jordan? He came back.
Oh, well, I'm back.
Okay, see, there you go.
But then I'm retiring.
Call us, man. Call it something else. If you can't own the brand Poker Sesh, then you'll just have to call it something else.
Yeah, I'll call it something else. What's up, Wayne?
Well, I haven't heard the bike officially closed yet, but I've got a string of unofficial texts.
So the bike isn't closed?
Yeah, the unofficial texts I got were 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I know you know this, I need a break anyway.
So what's going to happen with live at the bike? It's closed too then?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, like, there was some minor shots fired. It was still going on Thursday, which is like, I wanted to record something or, answer some questions. Was basically like, some people who live like, okay, so it was discussed whether to not stream starting Thursday and definitely not stream Friday, but some of the employees of the bike and some people work at Live the Bike, and I know you know at least one of them, are, short. They're not doing well. They're living paycheck to paycheck most of the time.
Right.
And that weighed into the decision of whether to, keep going until the end of the week, which is basically on par with, like, a lot of companies and industries. Like, something like Disney, like, shutting down early is, like, they're good. It's not necessarily everybody else is bad. If everybody else, like, kept going after this week, then maybe, then there might be something wrong to it. But basically the par is probably the end of this week. So
right.
When people are, like, firing shots on Twitter, like, okay, it's pretty easy to type 160 characters. It's kind of hard to run, like, an operation or make perfect decisions. And we don't always make the, like, just, you try to make the best decision you can with the variables, and then it's kind of is what it is.
So people on Twitter were telling you to shut it down.
Yeah, a couple of people on Twitter, but you know how it is. Like, outside people are always like, it's easier to just be like, oh, what are you doing? And they're only thinking about, like, their opinion.
Right.
I did want to, like, express if, like, over in private conversation or public conversation, that a lot of things that really tip the scale is that some of the people that I work with needed work, and then the next pay period is on Thursday, and at least if they work until the end of the week, they get to finish that off and try to figure out, get paid on Thursday and, try to figure out the next steps.
Right.
That's close. Which is, a more immediate concern than a potential spread of the coronavirus, which, believe me, we all took it seriously.
Right.
Like the casino and the show. And the thing is, Live the Bike was an enclosed amount of people of, slightly less than 20 people. It's like up to 9 people at a table, potentially somebody taking a seat, the Live the Bike staff, the Live the Bike floor. It's like less than 20 people.
Right.
So it's not like a tournament being canceled. Like, some people also fired shots Live the Bike. There were like a long time ago, a few months ago, like comparing Live the Bike to a private game. It's not. Live the Bike is a public game.
Right.
Seat opens, you can take the seat. It is absolutely not private. If you don't want to wait around for your seat, or you think you're entitled to a starting seat, that's kind of irrational and naive, because there's only 9 starting seats and thousands, if not 10,000 people, over 10,000 people that want them seats. Anyway, that was a tangent. Those were the major factors. in the decision making. Myself and several other of the bike and ride the bike staff weren't really happy to be there, but because of our role on like the higher end,
Right.
We kind of had to. Like, if we don't show up, then definitely people like lower ranked than us don't have an incentive to show up, or whatever, don't know what to do. So a lot of us just kind of stuck it out for the week. I was lucky I didn't have to come in on Saturday.
Right.
There. But yeah, I stuck it out until yesterday afternoon, Friday in the run, and just left.
So you guys could have like a heads up game, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I would rather make it clean.
Right.
Because I have like a lot of pre-recorded poker craft, which, as I've told you in the public, is not even close to the poker session, but at least the continuation of the attitudes and the views.
Right.
It's like, more so yours is about the gambling world. Mine's like poker is it's not like poker isn't the star. Poker is in the lens of being part of the world, being part of the human race.
Right.
But poker is definitely not like the star. But and a lot of the views are, if not all the views are, the same as yours.
Right. Well, they can't be all the same as mine, or you get thrown off too.
Well, I may not be as vocal. Okay, that's true. I don't remember what they are, but there's some opinions that I'm like, okay, maybe that's a little too far. But overall, I think you and I share the same views, and it's a lot of it's because like you and Nicole like really, helped me see the light when I was bust out.
Right. Right.
And it definitely didn't look like, I would say like 99% plus. It's been just like extremely helpful, both you and Nicole.
Well, thank you, Wayne.
Sure.
I hope I don't die of coronavirus.
Well, it's all you're too stubborn to die.
So a lot of people associated with Live at the Bike must be fucking going crazy right now.
They're not that crazy. Like, I'm sure. I don't want to. I just want to speak for myself. I'm sure you know all the people enough that at least me and another very rational person are very, very adamant about not streaming.
Right.
Once Friday's game ended, not like everybody else was. Not for streaming, but like a particular rational member and I were like, we cannot stream after Friday. Like Friday is the par.
Right.
It's on par for other industries, like just ceasing to function. And even like ceasing on like Thursday or Friday, there might be like some response of like, extra panic. Like, oh my God, like, Live at the Bike's not streaming. Like, let's panic even more and, speculate even more. Or, yeah, I mean, or if ever, like, Thursday and Friday shows are recorded, if after, a year, they're still live, maybe everyone was overreacting. It's a documented case.
Right.
There's just a lot of after effects that, we definitely weighed, but the main one was definitely that we wanted the people who likely needed as much of their paycheck as possible in the last 2 weeks to see the week through.
Right.
Like the rest of it's just like whatever. Like we can handle any positive or negative reaction, and that's something that I'm not going to openly publicize, but that's something that really hit me hard because me, I'm not into politics, but like Andrew Yang's universal basic income did catch my attention, and something like this is like, wow, like, yeah, this like maybe UBI should be a thing, especially with something like this going down.
I mean, I think that, somebody in the chat, of course, can correct me if I'm wrong, but what was passed yesterday in the House and that Trump said that he'll sign does give everybody 2 weeks of extra paid sick leave, which, might do something. I mean, it'll be helpful, I guess.
Yeah, definitely better than nothing. But I just mean like some stuff is like no fault of the people. Like there are people that are willing to work one slash more than one job. Like by me more than one, I mean like a couple extra hours or some contracting work, not like a full second job.
Right.
Make ends meet, and just based on salaries, like even not living a lavish lifestyle, it's not that easy, and especially if you have like dependents.
How about you guys do a stream of just people with coronavirus?
Yeah.
Because then, it is what it is. They'll be all sweaty and stuff, but they already have it. And I think a lot of people would watch that.
Yeah, I don't know. We're sticking to poker, but definitely like as of last week, like there are a lot of elderly people,
right?
Are regs on the show, and I definitely said, it's best if like you guys don't come to play on stream.
No, I did the same thing. The Poker Living says you can call it infected at the bike. I told people who play in my game, my regulars that were like old guys, because I always like send out a text and tell people when the game starts and who's there playing, blah blah blah. Because I host the game, the PLO game. I told them, the older guys, I was like, listen, I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's bad for my bottom line, but the truth is, you probably shouldn't be at the casino right now. And some of them like took it the right way, and some were like, fuck you, I'm coming in. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah. There were definitely some regs and people I hadn't seen before, like who came in the bike Thursday and Friday, and like I saw some tweets like someplace like Bellagio had like an all-time high.
Wow. Well, I mean,
it's like the end of the world. They need to get their fix.
Yeah, like some poker players, like I saw that Two Hats, somebody for TJ Jerkowitz forwarded me a tweet from Two Hats, as I can't go on Twitter, where he was saying, like I've been laid off from my job because the poker room's closed or whatever. So there's a lot of poker players who are like trying to get in their last hurrah because there's no paid sick leave for poker players. They're just going to be broke.
Yeah.
And this is what I was saying earlier about Bitcoin, and a lot of the altcoins are used so heavily in the gambling world. A lot of people who had said to me many, many times that they would never sell under any circumstances,
now they have to.
They're going to have to start selling, and we could see crypto take a big hit just from the poker world having to cash out.
Right. And this is one of the things that was supposed to happen, right? If like an epidemic came, like crypto was supposed to stay more robust. Was that the theory?
That was the theory, but it's been proved completely false.
I'm just setting out for that one because I have no skin in this game.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have skin. I used to have skin in the game. I don't anymore. I liquidated my crypto assets, but when they started to correlate with the market, but I mean, crypto has proven to be a very, very bad holding in a panic this time around. Doesn't mean it'll be a bad holding in a panic the next time around, but this time around it's been a very bad holding in a panic.
Right. I mean, but like it seems like the market has obviously tanked quite a bit too. So holding on to anything during this is not necessarily great.
Right.
Or actually, let me ask you: is holding on to anything during this time great?
Well, holding on to cash is the best thing, and then buying into the dive. I mean, it really is. You have to be brave during these moments and buy into the dive based on proper fundamentals. So
that's the intelligent thing to do, but it's hard to do. I mean, I've never been like an investment type.
Right.
So, yeah.
When I see Boeing down 40%, I bought it. I bought a bunch of it. Because it's like, you got to think like 5 years from now, are people not going to fly around in planes? If the answer is, well, that's an insane thing to think, well, then why would you not buy Boeing at a 40% discount?
If they go bust, though, can you like get a plane?
Yeah, I'm going to be flying around my own goddamn plane with as much Boeing as I bought. But I mean, this is like the Warren Buffett way of thinking. Like, you think out along a certain time frame based on your life expectancy, and you ask yourself, is the thing, yeah, are the things that are going on logical right now? Is it logical that Boeing, that this company that makes half the planes in the world and half the military equipment in the world is and pays a massive dividend and has a bunch of government subsidies and will be guaranteed to get a government bailout? Is it logical that that company is worth basically half as much as it was 3 weeks ago? It's like, no, it's not logical.
Right.
You just got to you got to lean into it. And then the second half of the investment problem comes in. Can the market stay illogical longer than I can stay solvent?
That's rational.
And the problem is it can, but I still have to make good decisions.
Yeah.
And I still got to let the chips fall where they may. You know, how many times in a row can you lose with King versus Ace? Well, you've lost 3 times in a row. You still got 2 buy-ins left. You know, are you going to go all in with, are you going to go all in with Ace the next time against King? I hope so. Yep. You just can't get scared. You got to say, like, some things just make sense and you got to go with it. But of course you could lose the next one, and you could lose the next one,
right.
and you could be completely fucking broke. But it is what it is. Hey, Zach Elwood's in the chat. Hey, Zach Elwood, the king of poker tells. He loves it when I say that. The king of poker tells.
He bluffed me out alive with the bike. I'm forever vendetta against him.
He had a tell. Obviously had a tell.
Yeah.
His tell was, he told me what his tell was, and and it was really bad.
Okay.
He said that his tell was, you were sweating profusely. And I said, he's always sweating profusely. Come on.
Go ahead.
He didn't correlate it that well.
Okay. Yeah.
He'd only met you once, so he assumed that meant that he could bluff you. But if he would have known you better, he would have never tried to bluff you because basically you're always drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
It's Wayne, ladies and gentlemen.
No. He and I talked at the brewery after, and it was total miscommunication. Like, if I knew who he was, there's no way I was folding. I mean, you could tell, like, in the footage, you could tell there's, like, I did not want to fold. I didn't believe him, but I'm just like, I don't know who this guy is.
Right.
I knew who he was. There's no way I'm throwing with chips, or there's no way I was throwing my hand. But, he did a good play, because it was, like, one of those things where, like, it was a good situation where it's like, how can he be bluffing?
Right.
You have to have, like, a nut in range to continue, even though he doesn't know me, and I'm
Wayne, everyone knows you. You're the king of all poker media.
Can you prop that? So you prop that out?
Yeah. Alex is going to find out the hard way that you are the king of all poker media.
I figured he would bet, but whatever.
Falafel Eater says he's had strippers text him for alcohol services at a steep discount. I wonder, that's probably a joke, but I really do wonder what strippers are doing right now. They're probably in as bad a shape as poker players.
I think it's everyone. Poker players might be in worse shape than normal people, but, like, I think it's everyone.
Poker players are in way worse shape than normal people because normal people have sick leave and vacation time, and they have a business that will reopen at a certain date, whereas poker players have no sick leave, no vacation time, and no indication that their business is reopening.
Yeah, so you're probably more right than me, have a better view than me, because obviously my network has a higher end of people that are doing better than the average poker player, professional poker player.
Right.
Whether it's, like, successful pros or house players. So
right.
You have the better scope on that one. But I don't know, just like even the staff at the bike, when I talk with them, and just how they're doing, it's just like not good.
Right.
Like keeping up with the cost of living is huge. Like I'm not gonna lie, I get paid and my income's higher than normal people, but like if I envision myself with their income, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna go very well.
Yeah, no, it's a bad situation. If if we were to see the infection curve flatten in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and everything would go back to normal very fucking fast.
Right.
Because everyone can last 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe even a whole month, because you're going to get everybody can last probably, I'm going to say everybody can last 6 weeks, because almost everyone has 2 weeks of vacation, a week of sick, the 2 weeks of sick that have been guaranteed by the government. So that's 5 weeks of pay that you can keep getting. Once you enter that 6th week where you're not getting anything and there's no sign of letting up, that's when shit is going to really fucking hit the fan. That's when, like, I mean, it's going to be desperate times. I'm not lying. It's going to be desperate times. Like, crime is going to go up. We're going to really see, like, what America's made of if people can't go to work for 6 weeks.
My parents were at Costco, and my mom said, like, 2 guys were, like, fighting at Costco already. And it's not like Costco was, like, empty. There was still stuff there.
Yeah, but people are stupid. People fight on Black Friday to go in and get Tickle Me Elmo. People get in a fist fight over Tickle Me Elmo. There's like, out of every 100 people, there's 10 fucking super stupid ones.
Hey, I got an idea. Release Tickle Me Limon. Give me a hit.
Hey, Wayne.
You're laughing. I'm serious.
I love it. Wayne, somebody on here asked about your stand-up career. Are you still writing jokes?
I mean, do you want a serious answer?
Yeah.
Okay, like, I have a lot of projects going on. I know you know several of them, and one of them was actually to do, just for fun, just spam, like, stand-up stuff on a separate YouTube channel. So there's, like, raw material, like, there's another dude, you probably know him by face, maybe not by name, and I'm trying to encourage him to get in the mix too. It's like, whatever, if we suck, we suck. Just throw it out there.
Right.
Like, when the end of the world comes and nobody has anything to watch, like, these 2 weeks, maybe they'll tune in.
Hey, Wayne, I'm going to ask you for a favor. I don't know if you can do it, but if you can, it'd be great. Is there any chance, because if I go and get a beer right now, it's going to take me, a minute or so, that you can just, like, tell jokes or keep the audience entertained for that minute, 2 minutes?
Okay, for 2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'm leaving right now. Go.
All right, go. All right. So, what you guys don't know is, you guys know Lyman's a good friend of mine. In the past couple of years, ever since Live at the Bike, even though he wasn't in front of the screen, people couldn't contact him when he was off Twitter, or couldn't hear him. I was in contact with him probably like once, maybe twice a month, just just asking for career advice more than anything, because the pro poker scene, the casino industry, and just like life in general, it's like a crazy time in history where I think like 20 years ago, before the internet came out, the internet first came out, I had a decent idea how things were going to shape out. Like, when online poker was huge, I was doing well in online poker, I had a decent idea, and we all knew it would come to a slowdown. A lot of people say poker's dead, but poker will never die, just like chess will never die as long as the human race exists. It's just conditioned with us since we started playing games when we were kids, and these two classic games, chess and poker, will be subject matters all the way until we die. They're just part of humanity. That's one of the things that people don't consider when they say, "Oh, poker's gonna die, chess is gonna die." It's like, maybe it'll viewership, but they're just no. They've become so integral in the human race that they will never die. In fact, the numbers technically are going up, even though the high stakes community, even the stakes community is not as active as it was, especially after the moneymaker boom, is that other countries are getting into it too. Like, if you Google hard enough, Jack Ma bought a poker site like a couple years ago, so for like, I think 30 million or something. I don't remember the exact number. You guys go look it up. But it's like, somebody spend $30 million on something, it's going to be the legalization of poker in China, online poker in China, and then China follows, and what about India? So there's still technically 2 more booms left. It's just people are so America-centric that they think, oh, what about the boom? If online poker comes back, is there going to be another boom? Yeah, very small, but they're all fraction like 3 months to 6 months. But people who don't know how to play or don't have a million hands online, over a million hands online, they're in other countries. They're not in America. A lot of the hotshot kids you see today, I'm not going to name names, but and some of them you have seen live at the bike. They've been playing with me. They were potentially not of age, like playing ice skating together online. And some of those people came to Commerce, and we battled. I was doing well for a long time, but a few of us didn't really prepare ourselves for the downswing of live poker. I was pretty responsible too, in a sense, or not, whatever. I mean, I underestimated downswings, and that's what caused me to go broke. Like, it's commonly said that if I stuck with limit hold and no limit hold and Simon Carter side, there's no way it would happen. But I delved into the industry, so not limit law, and didn't know what I was doing. And but whatever. Are you back yet? I guess not.
I'm back. What's up?
Oh, I was telling him the audience that poker, like when people say poker can never die, because poker and chess were ingrained to us when we were younger. So if you are an adult and you develop interest in poker, you can't quit. You're in at some capacity. You could phase in and out. But how many people have said they quit poker, including Barry Woods?
Right.
So poker can never die, but it's another boom. People are like, oh, is there another boom of online poker comes back in America? I'm like, well, there's 2 more rational booms that can happen. One if it gets legalized in China and then in India. More impactful poker boom than online coming back in America.
Right.
I mentioned when you were off Twitter, off live at the Flag, I would visit you once, maybe twice a month. Career advice mostly.
That's all true.
So, what do you think of pro poker now? I mean, I really don't know. Like, when people ask what to do, like in this era, I really don't know what to say. Like, it's not as good as it was before, but at the same time, like, if people really, really want to do it, you can't stop them either. Because I don't want to sound like, an old man and be like, oh, do this. I'm doing it too.
Well, I think that pro poker is basically what we're doing is pro poker. It's being a serious hobbyist, and to a certain extent a pro poker player, but keeping other sources of income going, because poker is not passive income, it's active income. You have to be at the casino, you have to play. And if it wasn't clear enough before all the casinos shut down, it's pretty fucking clear now that it's something that should only be a part of your advantage play portfolio and AKA or income. So if you want to be a pro poker player, well, that's fine, but you shouldn't want to make it 100% of your income stream or you're going to be very unhappy a lot of times because you're not going to want to play, and you're going to have to play, or you're broke, and you're going to be very unhappy at times because you're going to want to play, but there's no games to play. Or the game, like now, there's literally no games to play, but at other times, there's just no games worth playing. If it's only 30% of your income, then it smooths over a lot of things, and it actually keeps it more enjoyable, and it keeps you more sharp in a way.
What did you say about enjoyable?
Well, I mean, if you play when you feel like playing, it's still enjoyable.
Maybe for you.
Zach Elwood says, Lyman, maybe you can pay somebody to run your Twitter and you can send them tweets.
Well, it's the content, right? It's the content or is it the person? Which one is it?
Yeah, I sounds like even more trouble than it's. I mean, this is fun. What I'm doing today. I'm not gonna give. The problem with Twitter is.
You're a hobbyist now. Like it's really a job when you have to keep this up like once a week, like poker sesh.
Yeah.
And when you do it occasionally, then it's fun. I see what you're coming from.
Being a hobbyist at anything is more fun. Wayne, people say that your smoke detector is making noise.
Yeah, it is. I can't do anything about it. I'm not sending somebody to fix it here.
It sounds like there's a fucking bird in your apartment that you're like holding hostage.
Yeah, I care about natural wildlife, so bird confirmed.
Ponzi Poker wants to know why I'm banned on all social media. It's the Zionists. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but the Zionists are the main reason. Like, Zionists are the fucking nutlow. They're the fucking worst. Christian Zionists are the worst people that ever have existed in the history of the fucking universe. And they're completely fucking batshit crazy, but they're also sort of organized. And once you get on their bad side, and Trump-tards, all Christian Zionists are Trump people. So the Venn diagram is a fucking 00 Christian Zionist and Trump idiot. So Christian Zionist / Trump idiot, they basically always report me, and they report me en masse, and then I get thrown off.
No, it has nothing to do with your actual gambling world enemies.
No, the gambling world enemies aren't organized.
That's true.
So it's the Christian Zionists are, they can like do like 10,000 of them can report you the same day, and Twitter doesn't bother figuring out like why it happened. They just eliminate your account.
They got bigger problems to worry about. They just like whatever.
Well, then on 2+2 and why I'm banned from 2+2 and why I'm banned from Reddit. Well, that's the poker people, but it's because of mods. Mods are like the lowest form of human life. They're scum-sucking fucking coronaviruses.
Except Live at the Bike mods, those guys are awesome.
Okay, maybe Live at the Bike. No, Live at the Bike mods are just as bad. Not you, but they're all scum-sucking, bottom-feeding fucking viruses. They have nothing to live for. They won't let somebody just, who's been in the industry for a long time tell it how it is. It's like some dude who fucking walked into a casino 2 weeks ago and became a mod has like this little fucking power trip that he's going to ban somebody. And it is what it is. I mean, I can't do nothing about it because I'm not going to be a mod, I'm not going to like get involved. So it's like I just get banned from everything because, and then the crazy part is the people who ban me don't even exist anymore. They're gone. But I can't get unbanned by the new people because the new people I'm just one of the banned people, right? Like, it's like some fucking pencil neck little fucking geek will ban me from Reddit, and then for saying something that turns out to be 100% true, he's gone, long gone, because he's a complete fucking moron, but I'm still banned. It's like there's nothing you can do about it. That's the problem with being on other people's platforms. And it's the reason why I just don't do this stuff anymore. I mean, I'm doing it today, but I mean, nobody even knows this account exists. There's probably like 20 people on the entire planet Earth that know
I got
this.
added. Like, I don't even know. By the way, I left the building, so there's no freaking bird noises.
Yeah, like there's like 20 people on planet Earth that know this account exists. I mean, so let's say I do this show and I get 40 new people to view it. Okay. And then I do it again next week, and after a couple months, I have it up to 500 people watching or something. Then I say something that pisses somebody off, and then they report me to Twitch, and then I end up, they get a few people together to report me, and then the next thing you know, I'm banned again. And so I spent all this fucking months building up a fucking audience again for fucking nothing because I'm on somebody else's platform, and at the end of the day, somebody who doesn't know shit from Shinola can push one little button, and then it's just fucking all over again. And then it's like, well, why did I waste all that fucking time and energy? You know, I had to figure out how a microphone worked. I had to figure out how fucking to play music. I had to figure out how to fucking light things, and I had to get an adapter.
You had to learn something. Boo-hoo.
No, but then I get kicked off. It's a fucking complete fucking waste of time.
Why don't you just, like, save the material? Like, when you do a video, you save the video, or if you're going to write a text or whatever, you just save it.
Well, Live at the Bike, though, and Crush Live Poker, you guys have hundreds of hours of me doing good shows. It's all there somewhere.
I mean, yours on Live at the Bike, I was going to put one up, and I still may do it on my channel. Yeah, I don't know. What the other thing, too, the topic, too, was when people, like, ban you or whatever, do they actually, like, look at what you say, or is it just, like, your delivery? Because I have, like, talked to people, you know, at the bike who have very polarized opinions of you. One's like, oh, he's abrasive and annoying, and the other guy's like, dude, he drops, like, so much knowledge.
Right.
And in my boat, it's like, if he's dropping knowledge, why do you even care if he's abrasive?
It's because people in this new social media world, I guess, I don't know how it works, but because I would never waste time trying to get somebody barred or whatever. I guess it's just that it's a way to be seen, but they don't think about the rest of the community. It's like, because they were never part of the community. Like, I'm doing this now, and I guess everybody that's probably watching right now is somebody who wants to chat and have a good time and takes it for what it is. They don't agree with everything they say or disagree, but because they know that this account exists, they were obviously people who are interested in something that I was streaming 5 years ago or whatever, the last time I used this.
I mean, you could have just texted me. I would have just, like, you know, called arms.
But then, if I get it up to 500, let's say I get it up to 500 people. I work hard for a month or two, and I get it up to 500 people. Out of that, it's not going to be the 40 people or whatever right now that basically know the deal. There's going to be like a certain percentage of those people that are just scums, like pure scums. They're not part of the community. They're like 10 or 20 people who like want to ruin the community because that's what makes them feel important or powerful or something. And those fucking people, to a company that's trying to make money like Twitch will say, well, this guy, he's got 500 people watching him. Who fucking cares? Just fucking delete his account. Who fucking cares about 500 people watching somebody? And then, so they'll just make a decision like instantly. Because to them, I mean, if I had like 1 million people watching, then they'd be like, they'd probably have a sit-down meeting with me. And they'd be like, okay, like they do with Logan Paul or whatever. Who's that guy who hung somebody in Japan or whatever? Like, they'll have a sit-down meeting and they'll be like, listen, you got 1 million fucking followers or whatever. You hung somebody in Japan. That's really bad, but you're making money and we're making money. We're going to give you one chance not to hang anybody, okay?
Wow,
then,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Not just the actual case,
but with me, it's like, oh, he fucking worked for the last 6 months to get 500 people to watch him. Who fucking cares? Just fucking delete it. We don't want an anti-Zionist on our platform because when they hear anti-Zionist, all that they hear is anti-Semitic. So then they just zop the account. They don't take the time to learn the difference between Zionism and Judaism. Like, they don't take the time to learn anything because they're here to make money, and I get it. I'm on their platform. So that's why I'm just not going to do work on other people's platforms anymore. I will do
just like save the material on your computer and then just like, like if you have to re-up it, not necessarily ones that you were, under the umbrella of a company, but something like this. Like,
even Live at the Bike. Look at how, I know you don't want to hear this, obviously, but look at how much fucking money I made for the people over there, and then how they treated me. Now they don't have a fucking show, which is sad, but like,
I'm in the midst of all this, and you already know my view as
right.
like Live at the Bike was intended since its inception was to be an inside look of LA poker, the live LA poker scene. And basically, you more raw than I am, have more experience too, because I don't know anything about home games really, and
right.
probably some other aspects. And the thing is, some of the people who are attacking or whatever, it's different with me, because when I claim something, no matter how outrageous it is, one, I just Google it. Or just or if you don't want to believe me, that's fine. I don't care. But you actually pick on them when they're being stupid.
Yeah, I don't have time to deal with. Well, listen, if I'm doing a show and somebody wants to be a complete fucking idiot, I will make them part of the show. It's I'm not the type who will just blather on and see some fucking person endlessly saying stupid shit in the fucking chat or calling in and saying stupid shit, and then I'm just okay, I'll hang up on the next caller. No, I want to go at the stupid person, because talking to the stupid person, there's at least 20% of the people listening are also just as stupid as that person, and it lets them know how fucking stupid they are. And there's 80% of the audience that has to deal with these stupid people every day, and they get to say wow, look at this guy. This guy's not hanging up on him. This guy's not saying just ignoring him. This guy's going straight at his dumb ideas. And then everybody can learn from going at somebody's horrible, stupid ideas. But then the person that you go after gets insanely butthurt, and then they make it their life's goal, because they're miserable fucking nobodies, to get you deplatformed. And then once you're deplatformed, it's all just over. It's just over. Zot, gone.
Save the material. Okay, I guess we got the Live of the Bike archive.
Yeah. You got the Live of the Bike archives have a lot of good stuff, and there's some people come up to me all the time who watch the stuff in the archives. They're like, Live of the Bike should make this. They should do X, Y, or Z. But I'm like, Live of the Bike's its own private company. I made a lot of money there. I'm not going to tell them what to do. They can do whatever they want, and if they want to keep this stuff hidden, they can keep it hidden. What do I care? I can't do nothing about it.
And it's a lot of your solo work on certain topics in the gambling and poker industry are definitely better than I would communicate. You probably have a better grasp, and you've been at it far more than I have. So, yeah, I literally point to people, and then sometimes they're like, no, I want to hear your take. I'm like, my take is very similar to Limon's take. We communicate different wavelengths. And a lot of the numbers, more, the more accurate numbers than I do. So I'm just just go to about being a house player. Of course, some of the economics have changed, and the response, house players used to be more lax, but now it's more a regulated regime.
Right.
And I may have ruined it for a lot of people, which is when the game was short before my shift, I would make an effort to go in and save it, which used to not be a thing. And
right
now some taskmasters at the Bike are heavily encouraging people to come in when the game might break.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, there's I don't think you've mentioned this regarding house players, but some unspoken rules is yeah, you're allowed to go to the World Series of Poker, or you're allowed to take time off for Christmas, but those are a couple of times you need it the most.
Right.
So, are you dumb? Just
yeah.
Want to take time off then, or are you gonna, stick it out? Every single World Series of Poker. Not that I went anyway, so it's a decent bit, but I could at least back up Live of the Bike even when I wasn't an owner, because I'm like I'm always going to be back at home.
Right. Well, when I host my game, the idea of not being there during the World Series is completely insane. That's when I'm supposed to be there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I haven't gone to the World Series of Poker since 2004. Really. I mean, I host a game. The players want to play during the World Series of Poker. I need to be there to play because that's when the game is short, and that's basically where all the fucking money is made, is playing when the game is short and when the people need you, because then the regulars say, well, this guy is a real host. This guy does something for me. He doesn't just fucking show up when the game is good and then bail out when the game is bad.
Yes. A lot of my views, especially being more on the casino side too, is a little bit merging with yours. I'm not as harsh as you are, but we do have different roles now.
Right.
But yeah, definitely like during LAPC, when the out of town people come into LA, or during the World Series when a lot of the pros leave, when people are like, and LA that's the thing, like the recreational money is just constant. So there isn't a need to go to the World Series if you're in LA.
Right.
And like, in fact, I've had a lot of my best months during World Series time by just staying. And I'm like, I don't like Vegas. I don't like going out there for the World Series. Like,
me neither.
No, I mean, there's some things like I was in a hand of poker, and just like I'm lucky, a very good friend of mine, you know him too. He speaks Ukrainian, and then there was like two Russian guys like telling each other cards in Ukrainian.
Right.
And if it wasn't for my friend there, I wouldn't have known. I'm just like, Jesus, like when people play in LA and people are speaking foreign language, they're complaining about bad beaks or talking about pierogies and shit. But
right.
Now the World Series, it's the wild west for the 21st century.
Some FKS, world famous Kelly Steele. He asks, "Do you still hate Bart?" I never hated Bart. I've never hated Bart. Me and Bart had a business disagreement. It ended badly. There was some miscommunications, but I don't hate Bart. I wish Bart the best. I've never said anything bad about Bart as a poker player, as a poker coach. Obviously, he just says average stuff, and people pay him to say average stuff. But those people,
fine, it's his demographic.
Yeah, they don't want to Google average poker lesson, and so they pay to get an average poker lesson. That's fine. That's what he does. That's a hate. It is the way it is, So whatever. I don't hate it. I don't hate Bart. I mean, there's very few people in the poker world that I would actually say that I hate, and so other people ask about Brandon Uhl. Oh, I would love to. They say you interview Brandon Uhl. I would love to talk to Brandon Uhl. That's the thing that would get me snap barred talking. Brandon Uhl won't talk to me, by the way. He will talk to me in the casino, but he won't talk about anything interesting. But if he were to talk about things interesting, me and Brandon could have the most amazing conversation ever. Because Brandon he's a professional poker player, and he has remained that for a long time, making money playing poker, short stacking and bum hunting, which is
what you're supposed to do anyway.
Yeah, which is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but he's fucking really aggressive. And he has managed to survive all these fucking years. And he was a Christian who believed in God and Jesus more than anything in the world. And he was waiting for Jesus to tell him what women to marry. And he was waiting until marriage to sow his oats based on Jesus' recommendations. And then he became like a gay playboy dating a gay porn star. See, so that would be like one of the greatest conversations ever. Like, I would just flat out ask him, like, when did Jesus tell you to suck a dick? Like, and people would get really mad at me. I know those people would get mad at me, but I want to know. Like, it's a legitimate question. Like, when did this happen? I want to know. I want to know what Jesus said. I want to know how it happened. I'm genuinely curious about how that transition happens. But, he doesn't want to talk about it, obviously. And if I did talk about it, I would 100% get deplatformed. There would be some fucking LGBTQ group that would just fucking mass report me, and I would just be zotted off the fucking site. So it's like, it's just a waste of time. It's all a waste of time. I want to know how these things happen. I want to know, when Jesus said to, take the D. I want to know. I want to know how that conversation happens. Jesus, I want to take the D. And Jesus is just like, well, son, now that you've met a gay porn star, I think it's time you take the D. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, it could be true love,
right.
I mean, I know you got married early with
Yeah.
love of your life, blah blah blah. But a lot of other people, they don't know. They don't know until they see it, and even if they see it, they still got try it out for a while and act on it. So maybe that was his time. I'm
interested, but you see, these are the type of things that can probably never happen. It would be a very long and in-depth conversation. Anyway. Oh, I wanted to play. I was trying to play some music earlier, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out. One of my problems.
Just going pro today. I said, I don't know. You obviously have to start with No Limit Hold'em because there's so much information, and it's kind of the gateway form of poker in this era. And I said to go into PLO, but even PLO's gotten harder in the last few years, and upswing just throughout a PLO course.
Is it free? Or maybe I need to read it.
It's not free. It's $1 or something like that.
No, I had a deal to do to get paid to do a show again, right?
Okay.
And I did basically 3 shows. We recorded them with another training site, right?
Okay.
And at the end of it, they were like, well, we're going to pay you, obviously, because you did a good job, but we can't put this on our training site.
Oh, because it was...
Because they were just like, it's just A, you talk about too much stuff that, it's going to cause trouble with their membership, right? Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, half of one of the episodes is about how stupid training sites are, how they're a waste of time. So it's the guy is basically how can we possibly fucking put this on? You're on a training site getting paid by a training site and you're saying it's a fucking waste of time.
Well, what was your rationale for it being a waste of time?
Well, because somebody was asking me, because I was taking questions how much time do you spend studying poker?
Okay.
And I was like, none, 0, because it would be a huge waste of time for me because I play the same game every day with basically the same people.
You micromanage.
For 9 years. For 9 years, I've played in a player pool of 40 regulars. I know these people better than their wives know them. What the fuck?
When are you taking the D?
Yeah, exactly. What would I learn from Doug Polk about these people? About how to play hands?
But that's the thing. These training sites are for people to play less bad, not to play good. Once you start creating training material, you realize your goal is to make people good. I've had to wrestle with that myself. When I was in college, I would try to help some of my friends to play well, and some of them did. I'd probably say 40% of the people ended up being winning players in that era. But then when I started coaching people in LA, a lot of people just don't really want to play well. They just want to hear that the way they play is well, and you just improve a little bit upon it.
Uh-oh, Wayne, you might need to get your channel going. Chicago Joey Poker just went live. You're gonna you have to assert yourself as the king of all poker media.
Oh, it's okay. Joey's great.
I know. I like Joey a lot. Joey is how do I say this? He's open to ideas.
Yeah.
He doesn't pretend like he knows everything, which is very surprising in the poker sort of baller poker world. He's open to figuring things out for himself, obviously. But I tend to like his ability to grow with the times. And I think that's why he's sort of been successful through a lot of ups and downs.
Sure. And he just has a good personality for it. Like, I think you and I experienced a lot of burnout. And,
Right.
We're more operational people and just, like, hands-on when it comes to poker and not so much like, oh, we need to, like, tackle every little thing. It's just, we just tackle what we want. He tackles, like, every major topic in the poker world.
He's willing, and he's also willing to suffer fools, which I can't do. I just can't suffer fools. Whereas he will put out a bunch of content with just complete fools, and he will basically indulge the whole foolishness, and he might, and it's hard to tell whether he's buying into it or not, because it seems it's just if you want to be a mass communicator and not a niche communicator, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to be a mass communicator, whereas I can only be a niche communicator because I cannot suffer fools for one fucking second.
Yeah, I've re-listened to some of his stuff where I was like, what did he think? And he actually, because his guest is frequently louder than him in certain topics, you can miss. But sometimes he's hard on himself. He
right.
helps himself for sometimes. But it's like a one-liner, and it's like it's in the midst of a conversation that it's hard to catch. Like one of the examples was like him and Alex Rowley weren't getting along in a Live at the Bike podcast, and he did blame himself, and he was like, maybe I'm just like not getting it.
Right.
Very subtle, but he did say it, and you could see on his facial expression he meant it. Like maybe I'm being too hard and having his personal views get in the way of what's actually going on.
People in the chat, Joey, others, they want to know about Mike Postel. Is that how you pronounce his name, Postel, or is it Postal?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't supposed to mention it. Not, I mean, you know me, I'll tackle any topics, but if like the bike and life, I prefer it not mentioned for other purposes than
right.
drawing unnecessary attention. Then I just won't.
But you guys are shut down now, so what the fuck difference does it make?
Well, I just I'm supposed to semi at least stay consistent and honor like agreements, but like I'm pretty open to anybody wants to talk about any topic. I'm just like, hey, call in, or we could do this public or private, whatever the hell you want. And most people have declined.
The thing about Mike Postal, whatever it is, and in basically any gambling situation is, wherever there's money, there's going to be cheating. And when people will kill somebody, literally kill somebody to rob a 7-Eleven for $400. You think when there's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars available, there's not somebody figuring out how to cheat it? Give me a fucking break. Now, the Mike Postal guy, Postal, whatever, I don't know if he was a genius or an idiot. And here's the reason. If they had this access to this information, what most cheaters would do is set up the biggest possible game and smash it for like $100,000 or whatever. They would go like, who's that fat guy who won the World Series and got his weight in silver?
I don't follow the World Series.
No, this is, you know who he is.
Raymer?
No. Before Raymer. He was a cheater. He was the guy who ran the cheating scam at Russ Hamilton. Russ Hamilton.
Yeah.
So most people would do it like Russ Hamilton. That's the old school way of cheating. The old school way of cheating is that once you figure out that you can cheat, like playing $1, $2, or $3, $6, once you figure out that you have it down, then you pretend that you're a whale or whatever, or you get in as an anonymous person in the biggest possible game, because your feeling is, I guess, or your greed is that this isn't going to last. I got to smash this for as much possible money as I can in the shortest possible period of time before it runs out, right?
Yep.
So Russ Hamilton and his little group of minions had figured out this back door at Ultimate Bet and Absolute, and so they just went straight to the fucking big games and won hundreds and hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars or whatever it was. Whereas this Postle guy just kept grinding people down in some micro stakes game, right? It